everyone, this is Flashyou here, and welcome back to another Azeroth Throwback Thursday, and this week we're going to be looking at Ashenvale. Woohoo! I personally really love Ashenvale. It is absolutely gorgeous. Lush forests, a lot of adventure, and a lot of kind of scary spots. I don't know if you guys remember, again, we're taking back to pre-Cata, but Felwood, back in my newbie days, you didn't get the luxury of seeing 45 to 50 here, as there's a huge gap in level. And back then I think it was even 45 to 50 or something like 50 to 58, something crazy. But I remember wandering off up there and getting mauled by like some wolf there. So, in basically one shot. So I learned my lesson to not explore too far away from the current zone I'm in at a very early stage. So today I wanted to cover a couple of things. So as you can see with these videos, before I actually get into that, these videos talk a lot about my experiences of when I was leveling. A lot of it happens pre-Cata, just because a lot of it was just way more tedious and difficult. Right now, a lot of the times we have a lot of the luxury of doing this a lot simpler. Not saying it's maybe easier, but heirlooms definitely make it a lot less challenging than it once was. So, sorry if I keep going back to pre-Cata, back to this, but then again, it is a Throwback Thursday video. Right now, let's start with talking about Black Fathom Deeps. This is the instance level, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 24 to 27. And I remember having to summon my good old pals to get here, because if you didn't walk here, or if you've never been to Ashenvale, this was not a flight path before. Basically, it's just a straight line down here. So basically, people had to fly, no kidding, when it was original Oberdeen, fly to Oberdeen and walk all the way down. Tedious. Yep, tedious. So, basically, once you've got here, the ruins, to me, these were always so fascinating and well put. So I thought we should just go and visit, because I haven't been here in actually quite a long time, to the entrance, of it. And even here, just, a lot of aesthetic is personally lost with looking for group, because look at this. Like, already this, to me, I'm like, oh my god, fountains, but, like, it actually looks really cool. And then look at that. Instance is under, like, you have to, it's secretly hidden, right? So it looks beautiful. And then, like, look at all the crystals, the minerals. The only thing that's kind of interesting about this place too is it gives it a claustrophobic feel, right? Like, look how low the ceiling is in comparison to, like, on the outside it seemed like a wide open space, but because due to, like, the corruption of the Naga here, it feels like everything's just kind of just deep tunnels, the scary claustrophobic place, an unwelcome sight, so to speak. And I remember, I don't know about you guys, I know this place at the back of my hand, but I used to get lost in here. Like, oh my god, like, it's just such a deep, winding tunnel, and you didn't also have the luxury of maps back in the day. Not like you have one here right now, you have it on your mini-map, but it's just a big maze and trying to get around it, because it's not an obvious, instance. Like, look how much we have to fight through all this stuff. It's like, okay guys, I'm ready to do this instance, but first let's do 10 minutes of walking around of pre-trash before the actual trash in the instance, right? So, of course, looking for a group kind of, takes that away, but at the same time, it is kind of fun. But look at this, it's right here in this freaking corner. And then look, I remember I used to keep going. It's like, oh wait, no, it's not in this corner. But obviously, once you open your eyes a little bit, you notice that, if you look right here, there's not much else more you can go. There's nowhere else you could really go. So, I thought we should just take a tour down here. I hadn't been here in quite some time. But hey, it used to be one of my really, one of my favorite kind of instances while low level, in comparison to, like, stockades or something like that. For Horde players, you guys didn't have stockades. You guys had, I guess at the time, not Ragefire Chasm. Well, Ragefire Chasm would be your equivalent, since it was located in Orgrimmar, and we can't, poor little Alliance can't do that, and you guys can't really do stockades. But I've heard people have actually gotten a way of doing it, so kudos to you guys. I've never actually made the effort. having to go to the freaking town like Stormwind or Orgrimmar as little level 20s and be like, you know, for Camelot, let's go. No, or actually for the Alliance, you know, just going right in there. So no, kudos to you guys if you managed to do it. So with that being said, let's take a look at good old, let's take a look here. The Naga Strand, the Zoram Strand, sorry. Right here, if I'm not mistaken, these little creatures, these dead sea creatures, you used to be able to loot them for a quest, which you used to bring to one of the Night Elf characters back in Overdene, because she used to collect them and inspect them while they'd be dying, you know? I'm not actually quite sure why the infection spread and what was exactly causing it. If I'm not mistaken again, I think it was due to like some sort of like god sort of corruption, because right now we're actually going to head to Lake Falathim, right here, because you used to be able to fight some murlocs in sort of like some corruption of some sort, and I think that had to do with that, but again, I should have done my homework, should have taken a look at that, but I'm pretty sure it was that. But now they've changed it, with Cataclysm and Deathwing causing massive havoc throughout the world of Azeroth. Ashenvale has changed. Now, the good old little murlocs I was just talking about, no more murlocs. They're all gone. Goodbye. Now, it's all god shit. It's all, oh god, Tendrils from below. The old gods, you know. If I remember correctly, if you do the whole quest here, you actually fight this massive little elite god guy, and it's actually pretty cool. So now there's an even deeper force at hand, other than, you know, those pesky, annoying, you know, killing murlocs. I wish there was a statistic of how many, you know, how many players murlocs killed over the years, like at their cause of death, you know, graveyard deaths. Well, sorry, not graveyard deaths, but basically the cause of you dying. So basically being murlocs, too bad, like in your stats here, it shouldn't be like death by murloc. We should totally tell Blizzard that we should have that, right? Alright, so, yeah, here this changed as well. A lot of orc attacks now. And by orc, I mean horde. So this is actually a really cool little thing. You get to kill some demos, kill some horde, you know, pretending it to be the PvP at the time. Oh, speaking of which, PvP. Oh boy. So, again, I used to play on a PvP server. Not anymore. I'm currently on a PvE server. I switched back at the end of Wrath to a PvE server, and I'm not gonna lie, I am so happy because oh my god, here was horrible. You'd be like just mounted there like yay, and then oh god, just a horde would just come in and just murder you, because there's horde encampment over here, splinter tree, sorry, post, and then Astronar, kind of like the good old, oh look, he's an alliance. Sorry, I'm so distracted. So basically it's like, I was gonna say the Barrens with the crossroads, basically. Just a lot of horde and alliance that kind of just go by and pass, just trying to do their little quests, and then horde just come and alliance just come and just smack you in the face, or just the high levels just being little just forgive my language here, but little douche canoes here and just kind of kill you. But hey, that's why I swapped, okay? I'm not being salty. I swapped for that reason. There's no way I'm going back to a PvP server. I have to admit, it was fun to be able to just kind of one-shot someone, but me getting one-shotted back, like, I didn't quite accept that, so, you know, screw that. So actually, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Since we were on the topic of PvP, I wanted to bring us to good old Warsong Gulch. So this I have some really vivid memories of, if I could actually relocate the place, but basically it was crazy. I used to play on my brother's character. He used to play a little 60 mage, a little gnome mage. It's freaking adorable, yeah, and puntable, yep. But I used to play on his mage because basically we used to share accounts, and he would go to work, and then I'd play his mage, and then I'd do BGs for him, because you had to have a certain amount of cap of honor every week to keep your title, your PvP title at the time. So I would do that, and oh my god, I was really bad. But basically, we would all hang out at the Warsong Gulch entrance, because we did not have the luxury of just going, hey, you know what, I feel like going PvP, player versus player, casual, oh yeah, my honor is terrible, and then just do that, and there you go, join battle. You actually didn't have that luxury there, so you actually had to go physically, bring your body here, and wait, you know, as everyone else would wait for the, you know, the dungeon, the PvP battleground. And oh my god, I'm so bad at this game. I really should have looked this up. I used to always come here. Oh, I think I'm close. Or I could be totally wrong. I'm probably not close. No, I'm back on the road. Oh my goodness. So yeah, basically though, it'd be tons and tons of people waiting around, and then just waiting to be queued on, because basically it's like a dungeon. You would have to enter it like an instance, and then you'd be joining the battle, like waiting in queue. So that was always pretty fun, and you know, people would show off their mounts. And here you go, here it is, there you go. There would be so many people here dueling, you know, showing off their nice little PvP mounts, and you know, and there you go, you'd wait, and look at this. What a little graveyard. No one here. Oh, it's actually kind of sad. But yeah, this was the main hangout for a lot of people was here, or Arathi Basin, back in whatchamacallit, the name's escaping me. Help. Where is it? Wetlands, no. It's Refuge Point. There you go! Refuge Point, Arathi Highlands. Got it. Yeah, right there. People would just hang out there. If you guys were big PvP buffs, just hang out there. That's for Alterac Valley, I should say, or Arathi Basin. It was for both. So, because there's only 3 wonderful instances back in vanilla, rather than instances, Jesus, 3 battlegrounds instead of just having the, you know, the variety that we have. Speaking of which, though, I actually have a question for you guys. Do you think we actually have, like, some variety? I mean, we do. Like, I mean, you do have, let's see, specific. You know, you have all this variety, but to be fair, there's probably like 2 or 3 that I like out of this, rather than having to like a lot of them. Like, who the heck likes Deepwind Gorge? Ugh. Like, I don't know, maybe because I'm a noob and I'm not a huge PvP buff, but I go in there and I already want to cry. Like, it's just so disorganized. It's like a worse version of Arathi Basin. But you add minecarts to the thing. It's like, what? Anyway, I personally don't like it. But hey, you guys feel free to like the stuff I don't like, right? All free to your opinions. But I mean, I actually like, for the newer ones, Silver Shard Mines I actually really like. Maybe because I'm Alliance. But we win it as like crazy now. But a funny thing is, we would not win it back in MoP for the ring quest. Playing too much WoD, Steph. Too much WoD. Basically back in Mr. Pandaria for the Cloak Legendary, you had to win 1 Silver Shard Mines and 1 Temple of Kotmogu, and basically, Silver Shard Mines was like the worst thing for Alliance, in my battle group anyways. I think I had to win play like 50 of them before, you know, getting something done, so it was just absolutely crazy. But anyways, we've totally drifted off on a different topic. Let's get back to Ashenvale. So, another really great thing about Ashenvale is the music. The music's really, really good for Ashenvale, especially where we just were at Maestra's Post. It's the music night song, so if you actually have your Garrison jukebox, you could actually take a listen to it. It is absolutely amazing. Really well on beat, and you just feel like you're in a huge epic battle, so that's always really, really fun. And also one noting thing about Ashenvale too, it is the home of the Night Elves, if that wasn't obvious enough. That's where Night Elves are from, basically. And you know, me being a Night Elf myself, you know, I'm visiting back, you know, my little home. But basically, there's a lot of problems with Ashenvale right now, getting, you know, consistently attacked with Horde, cutting down the trees, you know, and, you know, Night Elves are just like, pro trees, keep the trees, and hey, always keep the trees. Trees are great. But now there's even some bigger forces at hand, like I mentioned, so with the old god type of stuff going on. So bye-bye Murlocs. Get pushed out of the way, Naga. Hello, old gods. But now you also have a huge ongoing forest fire with some guy at the top here named Lord Magmathar, creating some sort of like crazy amount of havoc with this ongoing volcano. And let me tell you though, okay, I have made this kind of opinion back with Faralos, in terms of the aesthetic, in terms of graphics that you see. Like right now I'm on Ultra, but look at the fire right here. Like, doesn't that seem really poorly made? Like, I'm really sorry. They've done way better than this. Like, to me, like, this looks like from a pre-2000s, right? Well, not pre-2000s, that's being a little bit mean, but, you know, they could have done this way more, you know, less rushed, you know? Like, I mean, do you guys agree? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, and even here, you just see, like, the bottom. Like, I feel like this is just, they just decided to add it last minute. They're like, hey, let's, you know, put a shit ton of fire here. Let's cover it up, have some fake fire going, and have some big fire elemental. There is no escape. There is only the fiery embrace of my lava. You know, yell out shit like that and just burn a couple of trees. You know, they could have made this way more cool. But then again, I mean, if they put as much effort as they did, you know, let's say with raids or dungeons on every aspect of the game, I think they'd still be working on it now. So of course everything can't be perfect, but this is probably one of the less cool parts of Ashenvale, to be honest. So hopefully, with Legion, you know, some of the zones are going to come out. They won't look, you know, this kind of lackluster kind of thing, and have some bit more updated graphics. You know, it's kind of like with the trees again, very twofold. You know, there's no kind of like, you know, how can I say, like, substance, you know, some connectivity. It's not like my mount, like, Christ, like, my freaking Celestial mount looks better, you know, than obviously that. But again, mounts versus some parts of the world, you know, they're not going to put the same amount of effort, which is totally fine. But, you know, it'd be really nice if they can do kind of a revamp on stuff, kind of like how they did with, you know, our characters with their faces, you know. Oh, and also, rocking the Devout set, so vanilla. Very appropriate for Ashenvale. So yeah, that's basically all I really want to focus on today. I mean, if there's anything I missed and want to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. There's only so much time I could really talk about all this stuff, and you know, I don't want to be blabbing my mouth for about a good 30 minutes, so feel free to leave some in the comments down below, and thank you again for watching, and see you next time.